Picture this. It's Monday morning. You have a list of tasks to complete, but by the end of the day, you've barely scratched the surface. That was me, not too long ago, feeling like a hamster on a wheel. The work was constant, the progress minimal. I was overwhelmed, frustrated, and knew that this wasn't sustainable. It was a struggle, a real productivity struggle. I knew something had to change, and so I decided to boost my productivity in 30 days. I was facing a mountain, a challenge that seemed daunting but necessary. I was living in a whirlwind of tasks and to-dos, constantly feeling busy but never quite productive. My days were filled with an endless string of tasks, yet I felt as though I was running on a treadmill, always moving but never getting anywhere. I was stuck in a cycle of reactiveness, constantly putting out fires instead of focusing on what truly mattered. My personal growth was stunted, buried under the weight of this constant busyness. I struggled to find time for the things that truly mattered to me, the things that would truly move the needle in my personal and professional life. The stress was palpable, the frustration, all too real. I knew I was capable of more, that I could be more efficient, more effective, but how? I needed a plan, a strategy to conquer this mountain of inefficiency that loomed before me. I was ready for a change, ready to take on this 30-day productivity challenge. I started by setting specific, achievable goals for the 30 days. The key here is to be as precise as possible. Instead of saying, I want to be more productive, I set the bar at I want to complete 2 additional tasks each day. This specificity makes the goal measurable and achievable. To ensure the goals were relevant, I considered my long-term vision. I asked myself, how does this goal align with my broader objectives? This relevance check ensures that we're not just being busy, but being busy with purpose. The final element of SMART goals, time-bound, was inherent in the challenge, a 30-day period. This time frame provided a sense of urgency and a deadline to work towards. Once my goals were set, I conducted a time audit. I tracked my activities for a few days, jotting down everything I did and the time it took. This exercise was eye-opening. I discovered pockets of time leakage, activities that were consuming my time without contributing to my goals. Social media, casual web browsing, even excessive tidying up were all culprits. I was shocked to find out how much time I was wasting on seemingly harmless activities. This time audit allowed me to reallocate time from non-essential activities to tasks that were more aligned with my goals. It was like finding hidden treasure, a stash of time I didn't know I had. With clear goals and a realistic picture of my time usage, I was ready to strategize. Next, I needed to prioritize, eliminate distractions, and block my time effectively. Let's dive into the crux of the matter. Prioritization is a critical step when it comes to managing time. Without knowing what's important, we can end up spending our time on tasks that don't contribute to our goals. I used a technique called the Eisenhower Matrix. This is a simple tool that divides tasks into 4 categories. Urgent and important, not urgent but important, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important. This helped me focus on tasks that were both urgent and important, preventing last-minute rushes and stress. Distractions, oh distractions, they're the bane of productivity, aren't they? It's incredible how much time we can lose to mindless scrolling or answering non-urgent emails. I found that using apps to block distracting websites and turning off notifications during work hours significantly reduced interruptions. I also created a dedicated workspace free from noise and clutter to maintain focus. Now let's talk about time blocking. This is a method where you dedicate specific time slots for different tasks throughout the day. For instance, I blocked out the first 2 hours of my day for deep work, when my mind was most alert. Routine tasks like answering emails and administrative work were scheduled for later in the day, when my energy levels were lower. This ensured I was making the most of my peak productive hours. Implementing these strategies was not a walk in the park. It took some trial and error to figure out what worked best for me. But once I did, I noticed a significant improvement in my productivity. I was completing tasks faster, my stress levels were lower, and I even had time left over for leisure and relaxation. It was like discovering a few extra hours in my day. These strategies were game changers, but I knew consistency was key. I armed myself with productivity tools and pledged discipline to my new routine. As we journey further into the 21st century, technology has become an integral part of our daily lives. It's no surprise that it played a significant role in my productivity journey too. There's a plethora of apps out there that can aid in managing time and boosting productivity. For me, a few stood out. A simple but effective tool I used was a digital calendar. It allowed me to physically see my time blocked out, which helped me stick to my schedule. Then there's the Task Manager, a digital to-do list that kept me on top of my tasks and priorities. And for those moments when distractions seemed to be winning the battle, I turned to a Focus app, which nudged me back on track. But let's not forget, while these tools are incredibly helpful, they are just that. Tools. They can't do the work for you. That's where discipline comes into play. Consistency and self-discipline are the cornerstones of any successful productivity strategy. It's not about being perfect every day, but rather about sticking to your plan, even when the motivation wanes. It's about pushing through the tough days, knowing that your efforts will pay off. And pay off they did. By the end of the 30-day challenge, I noticed a significant improvement in my productivity levels. Tasks that used to take hours were now being completed in a fraction of the time. I was accomplishing more, yet it felt like I had more free time. It was a revelation to realize just how much time I had been wasting on unimportant tasks and distractions. The impact extended beyond my professional life. I found myself more present in my personal life, less stressed, and overall happier. It's amazing how much a sense of accomplishment can boost your mood and overall outlook. The results were astounding, and it all started with a decision to change. And remember, it's never too late to make that decision, to take control of your time and make the most of your days. Because at the end of the day, time is the one resource we can't get more of. So let's make every second count. Now, I want to share some tips to help you on your productivity journey. Start with a time audit to identify where your time goes, then set achievable goals. Prioritize your tasks, focus on what's essential, and try to eliminate distractions. Use time blocking to dedicate specific time for different tasks. Leverage productivity tools and apps, but most importantly, stay consistent and disciplined. Remember, it all starts with a decision to change. Here's to a more productive you. If you found these tips useful, do subscribe to our channel for more such insights to boost your productivity.